I would have to find a real job for sure. Like if I told you no the first time, that's just what it's gonna be, you know? That's none of my business. I don't even care. Since I haven't been here for a long time, I kind of want to go through everything. If something is listed for $38 and you think $12 is okay, it's like, let's calm down. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Gloria and I am a full-time clothing reseller in Dallas, Texas. And today is Monday and I thought that I should do a nice little reseller vlog. And today's agenda is going to be very, very, very easy. I did write a little note. I do need to bookkeep, so I just need to update my books for this past week. Like I told y'all, I bookkeep weekly. I think that it's so important to stay on top of your numbers. So I'm just going to update my spreadsheet to reflect all of my sales, my gross profit, my net profit onto my spreadsheet. And then I'm going to pull and package a few more orders. All of those sales that are on my island are sales that sold this past weekend, as well as those on a hanger. So I'm going to show you guys everything that sold for me this past weekend. And then I need to put away my inventory that's over there in the Hulken, which is just all of the items that I photographed, and prepped last week that actually, listed. I did have to pull a few of those for this weekend sale, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. And then I also need to put away this new inventory that's right here. I have the luxury of going sourcing Saturday and Sunday. Y'all know I never source on the weekends. However, like I told y'all before, me and my sister actually did like a rotating thing where 24 hours one of us watches the kids, another 24 hours the other one watches the kids, and then 48 hours somebody watches the kid, and then 48 hours another one watches the kids. So the kids were with her this weekend, my son included, so I ended up just working. I realized once my second nephew, he messaged me and he was like, hey, because he's like 13, he was like, hey, can I go to the Goodwill with you on Wednesday? And I'm like, sure. He was like, okay, because I'm out of school this week. And I'm like, damn. So I'm like, you know what, it'll be in my best interest to actually just go sourcing Saturday and Sunday, because this week, if the kids are out of school, they're going to be at the Goodwill outlet, because they're always at the Goodwill outlet when school is out, which is just mind-boggling. Recently, I want to say within like the past 3 or so months, my bins location have completely stopped their like 16 and over. It has never been, kids under 16 that were allowed in there. So I was always just like, this is nice. But I remember somebody in my comments telling me like, well, I have a kid and it makes it hard for me to source, because if kids aren't allowed, then I can't source and I have my kid, which is understandable. But I think just as the shopping experience, and even as a toddler mom, even though kids can go in there, I would never bring my son up in there. But granted, I do have the luxury of him being with his dad the days that I work. So last week we went thrifting at the Goodwill outlet. This week we're actually going to go to thrift stores. Now, it is currently like 6-ish a.m. And I need to inventory all of these items because I didn't inventory them. So that's going to kind of push me back a little bit. The bookkeeping, that might take 30 minutes. Putting away inventory, a little while. I got to talk to you about the sale, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do my task list in the order in which I would have preferred. It is pouring down raining out there, and I'm going to be honest, I contemplating even filming this video because I hate driving in the rain, and since I sourced, 2 days, I kind of didn't need to go out again, but for video's sake, I think that it's time that we go thrifting at a regular thrift store. Okay, so someone actually wanted to see my books. And I don't want you guys to judge me here, I do things line by line, and I know, very, very, very tedious. However, it works perfect for me. I've been doing it since I've been full-time. Actually, yeah. I used to do line by line on a book when I was part-time, but now I do it, on a spreadsheet. But I go in and I put the items. So I just go to the platform, and then I just go to my sold, if I can get to it. I hate when technology runs slow. So then I get to my sales, and then I just find the last item that I remember, doing. I can't remember which one it was actually, but I just do that, and then I put everything into a spreadsheet. Now I have everything organized by site. So unfortunately, Nifty doesn't work that well when it comes to the organization of the sales, because they organize everything by the date that it's sold, not per platform. So I don't choose to go off of this one. I just go to the website and just, get them in order. So these are all of my Poshmark sales, and I will put the gross profit. So that's the first line here. And then the second one is my cost of goods, which I will have to go in and I'm like, okay, this is apartment 9, Cami. I sourced this in 2025. So I go to my 2025 and then I literally just hit find, type in apartment 9, and then I just highlight it and whatever number it tells me, which, it could be whatever. So I can be like, oh, it's 70 cents. Then I'll go over here and then I put 70 cents in my cost of goods. And then when I get done with, because I do them in order. So I like to do all of my gross profits first, and then I work on all of my cost of goods second, and then I do my net third. So right now, I didn't make any additional sales on Poshmark last night. So oh no, actually I did. So I made 2 more sales on Poshmark after I did my books yesterday. So I'm going to have to put those in and then look for the cost of goods. And then that's when I will go in and manually do my net profit. I know it's very tedious. Someone did ask me, so that's the only reason why I'm showing y'all. But I do this. It doesn't take me long, but it takes a little while when I have a lot of sales. So I have definitely over 30 sales that I have to get out today. So that was a lot within a 2-day span. Which I'm not complaining about because you already know November has been a little wonky. So I'm very grateful for all of these sales. Like I said, this week has been, it was actually pretty terrifying. I'm glad that I ran a sale because, whew, child. So what I did was, for eBay, I ran a 30% off sale. Now, I only do a 30% off sale when I'm very desperate. So I ran a 30% off sale because I think I had a day with no sales, and then I think I had another day with like a $30 sale. Like, this week has been brutal. So this weekend pretty much saved the week. Which we absolutely love. I started the sale on eBay on the 21st, and I plan on running it for the rest of the week. Now, I do this, like I say, when sales have been abysmal, so I like to just kind of jump in front of the ball instead of just complaining. So I did run a 30% off sale, so I did sell a lot of $15, $12, $13 items, which I absolutely hate because y'all know that is just not my business model. However, these are items that I had listed for $20. Now they're 30% off and people are jumping on it, which I can't even be upset about, I'm just happy to get these items moved out of my storefront because since I do volume and I'm bringing in a lot of new inventory every single week, it just doesn't make any sense to have a lot of items when I don't need to have a lot of items, So y'all remember in maybe it's not last week's, but in the last vlog that I put out. So since I am running a 30% off sale on eBay, that lady that I was telling y'all about where she wanted me to pay for shipping, since the item went down to $17, because mind you, I had it at $25, and I told her my lowest was $20. Now it went down to $17, $17.50, I want to say. So now she is asking me, hey, could you do 25 flat, shipping included? I just blocked her. I don't have it in me, I just don't have it in me to explain the exact same thing that I've already explained. I don't know why people so, hard of hearing. Like, if I told you no the first time, that's just what it's going to be, So a lady on eBay asked me, could she bundle some items and can she get a discount and a discount on shipping? Now, this is a flaw that I don't like about eBay. Like, why aren't people able to make a bundle and not have to pay all of this shipping? I had already told her, like, just send me a screenshot of all the items you want, and I'll make you a bundle with discounted shipping. She sends me like 7 items that she wants. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm noticing that they're different sizes, but I'm like, that's none of my business. I don't even care. I went and added them up. It was like 156. I just took $6 off, which is much of nothing. But I said it'll be $150, and I say I'll do $20 shipping, and whatever it is over, I would just refund you that money. So then she just never responded. A whole day went by. What I have learned when it comes to making bundles for people, I'm not going to waste my time putting it together, because I do go to Canva and I make a whole listing, and then I take it back to the platform, and then I add all of the item descriptions from all of the items that they want, and I put it in the description because I don't want anybody to be like, well, this is not as described, and then we go to the listing and I didn't put anything on there, just that this is a photo of all the items that they're going to buy. No, 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 no. I try to cover my ass as well. She never responded, so I never made the bundle. So I'm just like, this is why I have that, right in front of me, to make sure that I'm not wasting my time. Okay, so this is actually what it looks like when I'm done. I have 2 piles running, which are bottoms that are to the right, and then all of my tops and dresses to the left. And then the center is actually bundles. So it's only one bundle, but I think these are just some linen Chico tops. And then the second pile right here with the burgundy top, or that's really a dress, that's my pile to sell to a buy sell trade store. And then the items way in the back are items that I plan on listing when, we get closer to the spring. But I'm going to be honest, most of these items, like in this pile here, are spring pieces. So at this point, I might as well just merge them. And this pile here is all of the items that I purchased for me and my family, except the Lululemon. I gotta add those. But yeah, this is a pile for me, my niece, my baby. And then I keep a pile over here of items that need to be washed. Now, this is just like at first glance. So like I'm at the bin, I notice that this is a good piece. It looks like I'm be able to get this flaw out. So then I just put it in this pile. But of course, I need to put all of these items on my rack over there. So then I'll be able to know like what is actually dirty and what is not. But yeah, this is what it's looking like. Okay, so now that I have finished with all of the inventory, everything has been put away. I put all the clothes that I plan on keeping for me and my family in my dirty clothes pile. I put everything in the, spring and summer bin. Everything feels a lot cleaner. So what I want to do next is go ahead and print out all of my shipping labels. When I talked to you guys last week about all of my kind of like grievances with Nifty, and the fact that I noticed that a few things with Nifty I'm having a problem with, as far as their spreadsheet is not aligning with my spreadsheet. One of my lovely, amazing viewers let me know that it could be because I print all of my shipping labels out at the same time. So they asked me, did I bulk print my labels? And I'm like, yes, that's actually what I'm doing now. So that's why the number is not accurate. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm not gonna not bulk print. It just would be too much to sit here and do this one by one. So I'm just going in to update the dimensions on some of these. And like I said, I just go off of the poly mailer that I plan on using. If I know that this is a t-shirt, that's definitely going to fit in a 10 by 12 poly mailer. So I'm going to put the dimensions as like 8 by 8 by 2, because, or 1 actually, because it's going to be pretty short. I tried to go in and make sure that I didn't let the sale run on eBay for items that I just listed, and by just listed I mean that same day. So unfortunately, a few sales did get hit in the fire, as far as them just being listed and then they sold with a 30% off sale. So that kind of sucks, but it's too hard for me to go in and try to update it to where it's like, oh, the last 3 days, I don't want those to be, in the sale. But the problem with that is that I've, have Nifty running the whole thing for me. Nifty is literally my assistant at this point, but I have them running all of the background stuff for me. So when it comes to me trying to exclude current pieces that are listed, it's hard because Nifty has already relisted 40 something items each day. So I'm not about to sift through, 150 items to just try to exclude, the ones that I just listed. So I just, be like, that's fine. Let me know what time y'all start y'all work day, because I, of course, start at 6 in the morning and I don't be having enough content to watch. I'm watching Kaylee's Whatnot setup, and I don't even like Whatnot, but I'm still watching it because it's reseller content. No shade, Kaylee. It's just that nobody else has anything out, so might as well watch my girl. So since eBay does put everything in order, I just try to make sure that I rip these in order. And then when I flip them over to write on them, they're in order as well. So I do like that about eBay that they have a bulk option. I was intending to do a video on like the pros and cons of each platform. Let me know what y'all be interested in my point of view. So I did pull all of my sales yesterday because like I said, it was 30. I still have to pull a few more. I think like 4. I have a grand total of 17 eBay sales, 14 Poshmark sales, 3 Depop sales, and then 2 Mercari sales. And this is all from Saturday and Sunday. I shipped out on Friday and Saturday morning for my Friday sale. So yeah. All right. So I'm going to do it in order in which I have all of my shipping labels because it just makes it much easier. So the first one is actually this Royal Robbins top. I do believe I talked to y'all about this brand and specifically the expedition shirts. They perform really well. I believe that they have like a specific fabric to them. So this one wasn't that. So I didn't put the expedition in the title. This one didn't sell for much. Just a quick, fast sale. I did recently just source that. So that was a pretty good sale. Let me just pull this like this so that I can just keep this closed. The next one is this Rag & Bone women pair of jeans. So when I was sourcing for a buy, sell, trade store, I specifically picked this up to sell to them, mainly because they are brand based. However, they passed on it because skinny is not in. And I decided to go ahead and list it because they were a corduroy and they were black. So I thought just those 2 factors would help sell it. They didn't sell for much. So I guess it worked out because I made $20 instead of $4. This was a new to me brand called Legend. For some reason, I remember checking comps and the comps looked good during that time. And then every time the item would get relisted, I would notice that it had a lot of views on it, but no watchers. So I think I had it maybe priced too high, which was over $20. I think I had it priced like around 24 or so, and it ended up not moving, but it finally sold. I remember picking up a pair of shorts, but then I come across this brand quite a few more times and I decided to not pick it up because I didn't want to sit on it. All right, this is a pair of silk pans. I actually just sourced these. I think I hauled these in my last reseller vlog. And I was telling Kaylee like, hey girl, this is 100% sell-through rate, because y'all know she 100% sell-through rate girly. But these sold really quickly. They got a lot of attention across all platforms. This was the item that I was pretty disappointed that it sold in the sale, but like I said, I didn't exclude it, so that's on me. But I think this only sold for like $15. I didn't price them high because it didn't have a brand, tag to it, and brands definitely do help items sell. And like I said, since it didn't have a brand, I decided to go ahead and price it much lower so I can get it out the door. This is a women's Bowden top. I picked this up because it's Bowden. This is one of those brands where it's so hard for me to leave behind. I do have to plug in a few factors as to why I would be able to sell the one that I have. And this one was a larger size. So I rarely come across a larger size when it comes to Bowden. So I was actually, happy that it did sell. This one I've had for a while. Y'all hear that crinkling? This was supposed to be like a wool cashmere piece. I guess it is. But the thing is that I think I was very misleading with the title because I think I prioritized cashmere and not wool. It's literally 90% wool and 10% cashmere. But I wouldn't pick it up again. I came across this brand again a couple of months ago and I decided to leave it behind. So when y'all see that video, hopefully y'all watch the video. I'll pop it on the screen. But I talked about, like, don't make the same mistake multiple times. Like, learn from your mistake. And I learned from my mistake. The same way with those Legend pants that I just showed y'all. When something does not sell, I'm not about to keep picking it up. You might catch me pick up one more thing within that window of time where I, haven't given it a full 90 days or a full 6 months. But after that, I will not pick it up again. I have to waste my time. So Yeah, but this one was a J. Crew button down top. This was something that I remember mentioning in a different Let's Chat video where I was just picking them all up because at one point all of the J. Crew button downs were selling. So I'm just like, I'm going to pick them up no matter what the size is, no matter what the style is. And this one was a size 00. So y'all know how that goes. All right, I'm going to skip anything that I have to put in there. So that one is a sweater back here, so we'll get to that to the end. But the next one, where is it? This one is something that I actually picked up recently, and I just listed it, and it sold. Where are you? Oh, here it is. Wow. It is a pair of carrots pants. Now, when I picked them up, this is a brand that I don't really check the sell-through rate or the comps on because I have always had luck with it. However, when it was time for me to list it, I did check a quick comp. And I noticed that the sell-through rate was terrible. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to do a little bit more work as far as more research, because in that case, I know that I just can't throw this up there as just like, oh, just carrots pair of pants. I need to go find the exact style name, because the person that is looking for this exact style, they're trying to get a deal on the secondhand market. So I did have to do a little bit more research by just making sure I can get the style name. I can also narrow down the comps on that style with the size that I have, and just make sure that I'm within that window. So this one actually sold within like a few days, so very fast turnaround. And I would suggest you do that as well, because I could have just priced it at what I wanted to get for it, which was around $40, but I knew better, you know. This is a pair of Chico's pants. They are just the Travelers. I was kind of disappointed in myself because when I looked at the title, I never put Travelers in, you know, the title. And Travelers is a keyword. Well, I guess it's really just a title of Chico's in general. When it comes to their slinky pants, it's just good to put Travelers in there so then people know exactly what they're getting. But this one had a flaw to it. I think I remember that it had a flaw when I was at the bins, but I still picked it up because at that time I was selling a lot of Chico's Travelers. This one is a cool women's just button down. I think it's like a Henley long top. These are, you know, pretty decent sales for me. Cool is a brand that I think performs a lot better in men's items, but if I'm at the bins and I see it, I'm going to pick it up regardless if it's men's or women's. But yeah, didn't go for much. So I priced my items to sell. So when I run a actual like sale on my platform, people are genuinely getting a deal. So I'm not like marking everything up just to say, oh, I'm running a sale, and then, you know, I'm actually getting exactly what I wanted. People are actually getting good deals. Like this one. This is a Natural Life women's jumpsuit. I was really sad when I saw that this only sold for $24, but I noticed when I first picked it up at the bins, I noticed that the sell-through rate and comps were actually not that good. So I don't know if Natural Life is like slowly falling off, but it just wasn't doing as good as I think I assumed, because I was thinking maybe like that $35 to $45 range, but not so much. So y'all know I had to price mine accordingly. This one is a pole button down top. I actually got this at the buy sell trade store. Y'all know in that one video where I went to the buy sell trade store and I sold them a whole bunch of stale inventory and items that I picked up from the bins to sell to them so then I could buy better items. This was one of those better items. Yeah, I for some reason like selling pole. Pole is like a boutique brand. But anyways, this is a J. Jill pair of velour pants, size 18 tall. Now I picked up two of these, had to have been almost like a year and a half ago. The other one sold within a couple of months. This one took forever. I think because it's like a brown colorway. I think the other one was like a gray or a tan. It was a lighter color. But yeah, I was so sad I had to leave a pair of J. Jill pants at the bins yesterday. Something told me to just check the comps, and size 14 J. Jill does terrible. But this one finally sold. So, all right, this is another one that I've had for a while. I think I've had this for what, over maybe about 2 years now, because I had this when I was still living with my sister. I think what it was, because I did receive like 2 different people asking me, oh, is the inseam correct? Because I did do the measurements on it, and these are just like some super high rise pants, and the inseam just looked too short, but it finally sold, so I'm happy with that. It was new with tags from the bins. All right, this one was a cute little silk scarf from Oscar de la Renta. I only picked this up because it was silk and it was interesting. So then I checked comps and I'm like, oh, okay, their scarves, you know, are doing decent. I can at least get about $25 for it. So y'all know, like I tell y'all, I do price much lower on eBay because I don't allow people to send me offers. And yeah, this one didn't go for the price point that I would have hoped. But that's what happens when you run a sale. Okay, so we're on Poshmark. But this one is a holiday sweater. This one definitely went for just like $5 lower than I would have liked. But again, I was in the season of let's just get this shit out the door. So I went on and accepted their counter offer of $20. It still, you know, met my threshold of $20 and over. But I do know that I could have got, you know, at the very least $25 because this is a holiday sweater. Cable knit, plus size. So there's that. This is another piece that actually sold within a day of me listing it. What's funny is that I went on my Instagram, I think it was on Monday, and I was complaining about like just how dry the bins have been, like I complained on last reseller vlog. And I said it was so dry that I was so happy to find, you know, soft surroundings and J. Jill. And wouldn't believe it, y'all, but both of the soft surrounding dresses that I found that day when I listed them, they both sold. So this one, I did do very light research to try to find like a stock photo because I feel like when it comes to, you know, a lot of brands, it's really good to have a stock photo because the girls love looking at how it's going to look on their body. So I found the stock photo and I was able to find the name of it as well. And I think that definitely helped actually sell it. That one went for a little bit lower, so I think I must have priced that one just a little bit lower, and it sold through an offer. This next one is from a brand called Ollie and Hallie, or Haley, I'm not sure. Honestly, I kind of love this brand. I picked up 3 like shackets before, and they all sold for over $30 within like a couple of weeks span. I found this dress, and this one also got a lot of attention. So I was really happy that this one sold. I forget for how much, but this is one of those brands that I would suggest you look into when you come across it. I'm not saying pick everything up, but if you can get it from the bins, I would pick it up. Of course, check a quick comp just to make sure. But for the most part, it's looking like one of those brands where it's just a good pickup every time. This next one is a vitamin A romper. I remember in a reseller vlog, I was complaining about how much lint was on it. But this one got out the door. They countered, offered me, and I just went on and accepted because we are out of season. This next one is actually a pair of Masuk pants. All of this I found at the bins unless stated otherwise. These were plus size, and I didn't realize that I had these listed for like 2 months, which is still a good window. I thought I just, you know, found this month, but let me know if you guys do well with Masuk. I still kind of get happy, but I recognize that Ming Wang is, you know, the best. This is a Johnny Was women's top. I picked this up at the bins, and this was like over a year ago because I was so excited to find it. And then I think I found a flaw on it. So then I had to drop the price significantly. And then I remember somebody saying, hey, so since it has a flaw on it, can I get it for $12? And I'm just like, girl, bye. Like, and that's what bothers me because the flaw will be like a tiny little grease spot or a tiny little stain on the hem or a tiny little hole. Like, it's something small, because if it's something big, I'm not even going to bother listing it because I don't want to have to go down on the price or just have it listed forever and a day. All right, the next one is this soft surroundings dress. Like I told y'all before, both of them sold. This one did sell for a little bit more. I think I had this one priced up a little bit more just because of the style. It was very much so like lag and look artsy, like layers. It looked like a Bren Walker piece, so I tried to lean heavily into the lag and look keywords, and it actually worked. Okay, this is a Maeve top. This one is a Kelly green colorway. This one was also a linen piece. I think I did receive like some low offers on this on Poshmark, and I'm just like, look, I don't sell stuff for $12, so absolutely not. So I countered, and of course they ended up leaving, but this person came in and sent me a modest offer, and I accepted it. This one was so cute. I was so happy I found it at a really good time. This is a Kite Baby little girl's like Christmas dress, like a cute little swing dress moment. If this was maybe a little bit bigger, I probably would have gave it to my niece. But Kite Baby is definitely a great like kids bolo brand. I love to pick it up, but this one just had a little bit more factors to it just because it was, you know, a dress and it was Christmas dress. For some reason, I always thought that they only made like 90s and stuff like that, but they make everything. This one is a apartment 9 lace cami top. I just picked this up due to style, and I just plugged in a lot of keywords. And I think what made me want to pick this up, even though it was apartment 9, is the fact that it was an extra large. I don't think I would have picked this up if this was a smaller size, because I feel like they come a dime a dozen in a small size, but a size extra large definitely can do a little bit better. So a good style base pickup. I'm noticing that I sold a lot of brand base items instead of style base. This one was a style base pickup. I did plug in a lot of keywords to help this one sell, and I do think this one had a flaw to it, so that was super unfortunate. So I did bring the price down a little bit more, but just happy to see it go. It was a no name. I couldn't find anything on it when I Google Lensed it, so I just used a whole bunch of keywords to make sure I got it to the right buyer. And oddly enough, they live really close. Okay, they live in Texas. The next one is another J. Crew button-down top. This one looks more so like a Christmas style, and it was a 12 tall. This person also countered my, you know, offer that Nifty sent them, and I went on and accepted it because why not, you know? Christmas style, might as well go ahead and get it out the door. But this one is a doll's keel top. The great thing about it is that it is a collab with the Mountains. Y'all know the Mountains, where they make those like cute t-shirts. This one was kind of difficult when it came to pricing because this was a set. So I believe it came with a skirt and like these long sleeves, but clearly only found the cami top. So I did not price it high. I even found the photo on the website. And I want to make it very clear, if you guys find anything from Doll's Kill, do not use their stock photos. I mean, they come after you hard, okay? They are crazy. So never use a Doll's Kill stock photo. I had to learn my lesson, and ever since then, you can still use, you know, their name, but just be wary of those stock photos because they will hunt you down, okay? But this one sold on Depop. The next one was very funny, okay? I had another incident with a potential buyer. Sweetheart, she was very sweet. It was nothing against her, but at the end of the day, I am running a business, okay? I do not claim that I am a charity shop where I'm selling things for way below market value so then people could buy it at a very low price. But this particular person, not the actual buyer, but somebody on Poshmark, y'all know I was running a sale on eBay, 30% off. So this particular skirt was $24 on eBay. Now on Poshmark, this person bundles the item and they say, hey, could you do $12? I know that it's completely different from your asking price. Mind you, my asking price was $38 because I intended to sell this item for $30. When I priced this item, I knew $30 was going to be my lowest. It just had too many factors as to why I would sell it for that price point. But $30, I'm like, that's going to be my lowest because this is not only a plus size, but it has all of these, you know, patchwork floral detail to it. It's whimsy goth. It's like that dark grunge style. So I just knew that I wasn't going any lower than 30. So when she said, I know that $12 is way lower than what you, have it listed at, but I was wondering, could you do that? Because I did see you have it lowered on eBay. She didn't say eBay, she just said the Bay. And I was hoping to get it over here. And I was like, oh, you know, thank you or whatever. However, I'm not going to go that low on this item. So then she ends up coming back and saying, okay, well, totally understandable, but how about $16 or $18? I can do that. And then I said, again, you know, no, thank you. I'm sure you'll be able to find it somewhere else, or you can purchase it on eBay because it's at a really good discount over there at 30% off. Like I said, $30 was my lowest on the item. So for it to be going for $24 on eBay, you should get it over there. So anyway, so then she was like, okay, well, how about $20? She said, that's really close to the price point that you want on eBay. And I said, no. So then we went back and forth. And I was being very patient with her. But like I said, when you know, you know. You pick something up, you know that it's going to do well. So why would you lowball yourself just to get a sale? Because I knew if she didn't buy it, somebody else was going to buy it. So I stuck to my guns. Next thing I know, somebody sends me a $30 offer on Depop. I immediately accepted. And then when I woke up Sunday morning, I sent out messages to every offer that I had received on Depop. And I said, hey, if you purchase it today, I'll have it shipped out tomorrow. So then she purchased it. So then within a couple of hours, I received a message from that girl on Poshmark. Was like, hey, what happened to the item? And I told her, oh, it's sold already. And she was like, oh, okay, thank you for letting me know. And it's just like, if you wanted this, you should have purchased it. And I get it. Like, we all kind of got a price range that we are working with. So I'm not knocking you for that. But girl, if something is listed for $38 and you think $12 is okay, it's like, let's calm down. And it was funny because you started at 12, then you jumped up to 16, and then you jumped up to 20. If you just would have jumped up to 30, it could have been yours. But yeah, so that one sold for my price point that I wanted it to sell for. Now, this one was very disappointing because I've had this for a very long time. And I'll be honest, I know that at some point I'm going to have to go in and just kind of update all of the older items that I listed during a season where I wasn't as good with my keywords and all of that, because I feel like this one could have performed a lot better than it did. But I think I also just had it priced too damn high, if I'm being honest, because I think I had this one. The brand is called John Kloss, circa something, but this was like from the 70s, and it's in this really pretty fun colorway. And also back then I wasn't pinning my clothes, so when I use my mannequin, I use pins. They're actually hair clippers, these things. So I use these to pin my clothes on the back of the mannequin so it can depict how the item is going to look on the buyer, because my mannequin is like a half body, so she only has a chest. She doesn't have a back. So I do that, and I didn't do that for this photo, and I feel like that could have helped it as well. But anyway, so this person sent me like a $25 offer. I had already dropped the price significantly on this item, so I'm just like, no, $30 is my lowest. So I countered for 30, and they actually accepted it. So I was really happy with that. This one is a 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 mistletoe long sleeve top. This was a larger size as well, so I knew that this one was going to sell for about 20 bucks. So I was really happy with this one. They sent me an offer and I just accepted it. I make sure that I accept every single offer on Mercari because you already know I have a pricing strategy, and I will link the video down below if you guys are interested in it. But I have a pricing strategy, and I price my items 20% above my lowest. So then when they send me a counter offer, that's the lowest that I want on the item, and I can go ahead and accept it. All right, so the next one is from a brand called Rod and Gun. This is just a men's sweater. This one came through this morning on Mercari. For some reason, I feel like when I picked up this item, the comps were looking good, but once I noticed that I had 2 pieces from this brand and it wasn't selling, I just stopped picking up the brand, like I told y'all before. So I'm going to have to grab that. All right, this one was kind of interesting. So this particular person sent me a offer for like 70% off. And I'm just like, girl, absolutely not. This style is like really in right now. But when I first found it, the style is called the Drifter. So it just had all the right factors. It was cable knit. The only problem is that it was a size extra small. But I still knew that I could get a decent amount for it. So me and her countered for a while. And once she realized I wasn't budging on the price, she went on and accepted the offer. And I was happy to get it out the door. Yeah, I know some of y'all viewing this are probably like, damn, like you're a bitch when it comes to negotiating. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like I've already did the hard work of researching the item, seeing what it could sell for, seeing the worth of it. Why would I go lower than that when I've already, spent my time and my efforts to find this item, All right, this next one is a J. Crew Fair Isle sweater. This one did go a little bit lower than I would have liked, only because I've had it for a while. So that's why I went on and factored that in when it came to their offer. And I was just like, okay, it's still above what I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and accept it. People are, buying those Christmas items. I'm kind of nervous because I still have at least about 8 Christmas, like holiday ugly Christmas sweaters from Tipsy Elves. It just makes me so sad because Tipsy Elves has definitely like not been doing as well as it used to. All right, this one is another piece that I was really sad to see go for the price point. This one again was a style-based pickup. I don't really gravitate to Ann Taylor. Anytime I pick up Ann Taylor, it's always because of a certain style. This one had like that nautical vibe. I don't pick up blazers anymore unless they are from a great brand or they are a preppy style. So what I did with this one, I used the right keywords. This one is a blazer that looks exactly like a Veronica Beard blazer. I forget the name of it, but what I did was I put the style name in the title of this one. So I used the style name for the Veronica Beard blazer. I didn't use Veronica Beard, but I used just the style name for it because it essentially looks just like it, you know. A piece that I've had for a little while now. I had got so many inquiries on Depop, but one particular girl, I sent her my bot sent her an offer, and then she counter offered, and then I did accept it. And then she messages me and she asks me, oh, what's the, the makeup for the fabric? And like I told y'all before, people are very like fabric conscious now, which I don't blame them because who wants to pay $200 for a polyester item, you know? So this is not $200, but I told her I don't know because it was ripped out. So, and I could have easily lied and said, oh, it feels like cotton, but I don't want to do that to nobody because what if they're like allergic or something? So she was like, oh, I just can't fathom paying, $60 for a sweater and I don't know the fabric content. And I'm like, that's fine. But I kind of chuckled because it's like, why would you counter offer if you knew that you didn't want it, you know? But that's neither here nor there. So that happened a few times. Somebody on Poshmark also asked me like, what is the fabric makeup? And I told them, I'm sorry, but I do not know. So this person purchased it. The brand was called Christine Folly, I want to say. Never heard of it, but when I looked up the name, I noticed that a lot of them were marked as like rare, sought after, and all of that. So I did use that in my title because I didn't see any of them that were similar to that. But I had a issue happen on Mercari this past week with a Christian Dior robe, and it got flagged for counterfeit. And I listed this one a while ago. And it just really upset me and my homegirls because I'm just like, how the hell is it counterfeit? And I actually put in an inquiry to Mercari, like, hey, could you please let me know how is this counterfeit versus, oh, this isn't counterfeit. No, I want you to tell me why you think that it's counterfeit. I realize now that since AI is like taking over, it's in your best interest to be very blunt, straight to the point, no extra explanation, don't have any words that they can like flag. I basically was like, explain to me how this is counterfeit versus this isn't counterfeit. Why did you take my listing down? Nuh-uh. I want you to explain to me. So they got back to me within a couple of hours. Mercari is always very prompt. That's what I can say. Their customer service is very prompt, or their AI bot is very prompt. And they said that they did it by accident. So they reinstated it. So I'm like, yeah, because it's not counterfeit. I also recently got a sleep sack from a vintage brand. I believe it's called Zona something. It was like a sleep sack on eBay. They took it down. They said it violated the policies. And what threw me off about that is that I watch other YouTubers and they have been selling sleep sacks. So what I realized is it's that word. So after I actually went and read the email that eBay sent me, and it's the word sleep sack. Like, and I totally get it. Very, the words sound very unsafe. I'm scared anytime something gets flagged on eBay, I don't bother putting it back up. I think I've had some fig items get flagged on eBay, so I don't even put fig up there anymore. At one point, it was their stock photos when it comes to fig. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna stop using the stock photos. But then they still would flag it for non-authentic or counterfeit or something like that when it comes to figs, even when I don't have a stock photo. So I said at that point, I'm just not going to even put it back up. I definitely just try to stay away from putting anything back up that eBay has taken down, because I feel like they're a little bit more swift with it. Mercari is also pretty swift with it, because I think I had my account suspended at one point some years ago on Mercari because I used stock photos, and I think it was a Beyond Yoga. What's so funny, another lady just asked me where I got my bag from. I realized that when Hulken reached out to me, like 2 years ago, roughly, maybe, yeah, I think it was about a little under 2 years ago, they reached out to me to give me a link for the Hulken bag. And at the time I was so excited because, you know, I'm thinking like we were going to collab, you know, where I was going to get paid and the link. And they gave me the link and I was so excited. I think I did talk about it in like a ship with me video, and I still put the link out there because I'm not BSing y'all. I have recommended the Hulken to people for years now, okay? I think this is when it was coming out with the blue and the red one. So this is a while ago. Anyways, they reached out after they gave me the link, maybe like within a week or two, they reached out and they was like, hey, you know, we're going to have these other 2 colors coming out. If you want to tell your audience, you can. And I thought that it was funny, and I feel like it's not going to be in every video I'm complaining about a company, but I just thought that it was funny because you want me to promote for free. And yeah, you're giving me a kickback, but I'll be honest with you, their kickback is crazy. Like, I mean, it's got to be like 5%, which is not, I don't want to sound ungrateful. I think getting a kickback is very, very nice. Do not get me wrong. Like, I love a good kickback, but I'm just saying, like, it was they skimped out on it. So I don't know what their margins is for the bag. I don't know what the margin looks like, but they were absolutely being extremely skimpy with that kickback. So I let them know, like, oh, okay, well, this is my fee for a integrated ad. And I thought it was funny because it's like, you want me to promote for free. The kickback, I personally don't think the kickback is payment. If you are a content creator and you are getting into content creation, you got to know your worth, okay? I can see if they gave me a free Hulken. They didn't give me a free Hulken. I paid for both. I'll pay for all 3 of my Hulkens that I have because I'm so scared to get on the highway when it's raining. I think I'm just going to stay in the slow lane because I'm scared. Like, you can hydroplane and stuff like that. But anyway, so usually a company will give you something free in return for you doing an ad for them, and then you'll get the kickback. Or you'll get paid, you promote it, and then you'll get the kickback. Or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be no kickback, but you are going to be getting paid. It's either or. But when it comes to affiliate links, it's got to be both, okay? Yeah, for some reason, Thrift Town looked like it was closed because they don't have no signage. They don't have nothing that is stating that they're open. I have been so used to this place being like packed. Back in the day, it used to be nothing but cars just waiting out here. But now, it's not. So we've made it to Thrift Town. This was actually my very first thrift store that I had ever been to. And this was just like my honey hole for a very long time. Okay, we got Lily Pulitzer. This feels like cashmere, but it's so many holes in it. 100% cashmere. They want $6 for a whole bunch of holes. Since I haven't been here for a long time, I kind of want to go through everything because it's been a long time. And honestly, I don't really want to go to another thrift store. So my goal is to actually get about 10 items today. That is the goal. Look at these Good American jeans, $10, size 18. I actually just sold some Good American jeans, size 18 for $30. These are $10 though. Let me go look at the color tag. Okay. Yellow and red is the color tag. This one's purple. These are cute though, but I don't think for $10. $10, I just can't do 10. Maybe 5, not 10. Good American was like, oh my God, I'm so happy I found this bolo. Not anymore. So I found this brand. This just looked like linen. It's like a maxi. It's strapless. It's so cute. The tag looked like it was worth looking into. It's called 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊. heart. This is an extra small. I checked comps, and honestly, y'all, very, very disappointing. I'm just gonna put y'all on my same screen. So I'm just looking at myself. Anyway, so I typed in paper heart dress, and these are the solds. So 67 sold and 600 listed. Now this is the exact, well, maybe not exact. That's an extra, mine is an extra small. So let me see. Extra small, 95. Everybody's price points. So it's an Anthropology brand. This is so cute. And if something like this could only not even really sell for 25, how much do I think I'm gonna get out of this? So 95 and only 3 sold, y'all. Very, very disappointing. So I can't take this one home. This would have been a for sure pickup at the bins though. So cute. It's not worth, you know, spending money on. This is an old ass Maeve dress. Yellow is 30% off and red is, I'm sorry, yeah, red. Red is 50% off. So they used to do 50% off and then 70% off. I'm assuming they probably was losing too much money, so they switched it real quick. Kind of hoping that I can find some sort of bolo, because man, I'm like, I'm gonna be here all day at this rate. It'd be a waste of time. This looks like this might be like Prana or something. Oh, it's packed. Okay, $7. I'm not gonna lie, the last packed piece that I remember thrifting with y'all inside of a store. Ooh, I see bleach spots. Well, never mind. But the last packed piece I remember thrifting with y'all, I think I ended up selling it for like $15. And I paid $6 for it, so not good at all. And this is why, guys, this is why I prefer the bins. I could not imagine having to be a full-time reseller, and this is what my pickings would be. I would have to find a real job for sure. Ooh, that's a throwback. This is how you remind me of what I really am. Okay, so the dress section was definitely a success. That Farm Rio piece just got me excited. Now I didn't check comp, so we'll see. But I did pick up a few other things. One of them, I like the style and it has linen in it, so I'm gonna see what brand it is, but I'm gonna do all that at the end. So I know a lot of you actually agree with me as far as me saying that my thrift stores and the bins is very dry. You guys are having the exact same problem as well. Another viewer of mine also told me that it is because this is the time that nobody is really like donating clothes. This was actually a pair of 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊 leggings. I don't really like to sell leggings anymore, especially if they are skinny, but I thought these were really, really cute. These were some really pretty dresses. Like, I personally feel like if I found these at the Goodwill outlet, I would have taken them. The colorways are so pretty and they just kind of give the vibe, especially this one give like gremlin core, goblin core, but I did leave these behind. This one I thought was very interesting because it had a gaping hole in it and they still decided to list it for $7. So like, where is the people actually checking these things? This is a great brand. However, this is not a cashmere, nor is it like a novelty style sweater. But if you guys come across Lisa Todd like cashmere sweaters, 100% pick it up. This one was a soft surroundings top. I found 2 of them, and just because I sold 2 soft surrounding dresses within like 1 or 2 days, I was heavily inclined to want to pick these up. However, I just couldn't do it. You already know I am pretty cheap for the most part, but I just didn't think that they warranted that much because I did check the comps and they weren't doing that well. This was a frame 100% silk top. I didn't take it. This is a Doll's Kill brand. This is another one I didn't bother even looking into because if it was at the bins, I probably would get about 20, but no. This is Habitat, another great brand, but this piece was a little bit more plainer, so I didn't bother grabbing that. Eileen Fisher. This one had a few little flaws to it, so of course I wasn't gonna get that. And here's me just flipping through all the trash. Well, I shouldn't call it trash, but y'all know, like, these are the unwanted pieces. Even this place is like very scarce as well. Like, they didn't have much on the shelves. It was kind of empty. Usually this place would be just kind of stuffed on the racks. This is Logo by Lori Goldstein. That's a brand that I used to pick up, but then it just completely plummeted, so I stopped picking it up. And that's just what I do, y'all. I can't continue to pick up something that doesn't sell. I will learn my lesson real quick. Okay, so my camera died, so I'm just gonna have to go through this and then I will show y'all. So these are all of the pieces that I decided to put back. This is Michael Lu collection. I thought this was so pretty, but I looked up the comps and they were not doing well. At the bins, I would grab it because it would only sell for about 18 to 20, but still a super cute piece. This was flax. I was excited because it was a larger size, and thank God I kind of looked it over because I noticed that it was a hole in the back and they were still trying to sell it. So I decided to leave that there. And this next one was actually a Lily Pulitzer piece. I thought this was so cute. The size just very scary. It wasn't priced that high, $5, not bad. However, the size and the fact that it wasn't like silk or anything, I decided to leave it. This is Ariat. This one, I think it had a little tiny stain on it, and y'all know how I feel about stains at the thrift store. I decided to leave this one behind, but I think I would have definitely grabbed this at the bins and just disclosed the flaw. This one was a soft surroundings jumpsuit. Again, I have been like kind of open my eyes again when it comes to soft surroundings, but I looked up the jumpsuit specifically for that size and they were not doing well. This was going to be a new to me brand. I thought this colorway was so pretty. Definitely, I would have picked this up at the bins, no questions, but the sell-through rate and comps weren't that good. I ended up finding out that this was Cynthia Rowley. Again, not really worth it to me. I think yellow was 30% off, so I did leave that there. This one was a brand that I have gotten burned with multiple times, but it's still a great quality brand. However, it just does not move for me. Sell-through rate was terrible as well. This one was Title IX. I really wanted to take this because I do have a lot of luck selling this brand. However, I don't think I would have got the price point that I would have wanted with these pickups that I got from the thrift store. This was a collab with Target and Diane von Furstenberg. I saw a lot listed and not a lot sold, so you already know how that goes. All right, so they didn't have any bags, so everything is here and it's loose, so we don't love that. And I'm actually about to head to Starbucks because I need some coffee and I want to get like a little quick breakfast sandwich from them as well. It is currently 12:38. Honestly, decent timing. I did try to go to their section where they had like tchotchkes and stuff, but then I quickly left because I didn't really like anything. I do feel satisfied with the things that I got, and I'll give you guys a haul once I make it home. You know what? So unfortunately for me, my coffee did just spill, but my camera ran out of memory on the memory card that I was using prior. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all my good old haul. All right, so this is LL Bean. This is like one of those little sweater situations. So first off, I just bought one of these for myself on Mercari, but it was in men's. I just prefer men's cut, like sweaters and things like that, because I feel like with women's stuff, everything has like a little crop to it. Everything is tightly fit. It's a little snug. But with men's items, it's just, it gives me a way to at ease, you know? So I got that one. But if I would have just went to the thrift store, I would have found this. This is also women's 1X. So yeah, so I got this one in green. I think I'm going to sell that one, and then I'm going to keep this one because they're the exact same size. They're literally in like new condition. I don't even think the person that previously owned this even wore these. So what I did was I went and checked the comps. And it was, I had to check extra large because there was no 1X option, but it was 1,700 listed, and I specifically checked LL Bean sweaters. 1,700 listed in extra large and 1,200 sold. So that sold me. So I went on and grabbed it. All right, so this is that Farm Rio collab with Smiley. Oh, they do have a sticker too. New with tags. This is the Leopard's Jungle Smiley mini dress. MSRP is $260. But I'm actually surprised that they priced this only at $7. So I was really happy with this find. This one is 100% silk, kind of like a fairy core super sheer top. and it has like this good old flare to the sleeve, which is really good. So I'm also going to tie in like Western as well. So this is going to be good for a girly with, you know, like those flare pants with the cami underneath and just kind of that vibe. So I'm going to pull pretty much everybody in. Ren Fair as well. That one is a larger size. This is another silk piece, but this is a more substantial one. So I did pay a little bit more for this one. This one is a maxi dress, also has a flare sleeve, and this one is silk. And this one has a little bit of beading on it. The trim is very like ruffled. This one is a no name. So when I get it under my light and my, you know, photographing stage, then I'll be able to Google Lens at the very least. But that is something that I have sold plenty of times. So with it being silk, you know, a maxi dress, I think it's just going to perform really well. This is Allie Miles. I went back and forth. This particular brand I have talked about, like it has severely declined. However, this was an extra large and this style just was perfect. And I just felt like I could at the very least get about 28 to 30 for this one. So I will be pricing this one a little bit higher because it's more of a jacket than it is a like top. And the sell-through rate was also over 50% as well. So I was happy with that. This brand is called My Choice. This one is yet another like boho style. This one has like that crochet eyelet detail to it. And then another flare sleeve. And it's like crochet. And this one is really cute because it has like a tie back. Again, this is an extra large. I would not be surprised if a plus size girly emptied her closet and I was able to find the things. She might have been the same one that got rid of those Good American jeans that I didn't get. Honestly, if they were my size, I probably would have got them for myself. But my inseam is pretty short and I would have just looked silly. But yeah, y'all, that was it. That's all that I got. I didn't get much. I think I told you I wanted 10 pieces. I put a lot back. Y'all saw. I had to exercise restraint, and it sometimes is difficult and sometimes it's not, because I went in with the intention of like, okay, let's not be cheap. If the item is good and it can sell for, you know, over $30, let's go ahead and get it. If you feel confident about it, let's go on and get it. But if I didn't feel confident about it, we were going to leave it there. I didn't want to be as cheap as I typically am. Y'all know. Oh, well, I just saw a flaw on this, on the little sleeve part. How did I miss that? It's fine. It's just a discoloration mark. I honestly think I can still list it, but I think I'm gonna try to wash it just to see if it can just lighten up a little bit. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know down below what was your favorite item from my very tiny, tiny, tiny haul. Of course, it's the farm reel. It's always the item that I'm going to get the most money on, that I'm most excited about. But yeah, I'm happy that I was able to organize my office because it looked crazy. With me thrifting as much as I did this past weekend, with me just trying to make sure everything is on track, I do feel much more aligned this week than I did the last week when I put out that vlog. So this Monday is going a lot better than last week's Monday. All of my sales have been scanned in from the, you know, whatchamacallit, my son and his dad is gone. So I have my apartment back to myself. Like, I am back on track. So I'm about to suck this down, and then I'm going to go ahead and inventory these. And then I'm going to go ahead and start photographing and prepping and measuring and steaming and lint rolling and all the fun things. That's pretty much it, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Make sure you like this video. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. If you, of course, enjoy reseller content from me, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here. And then hype this video if you can. If you can't, completely understand. But yeah, I will see you on the next one. Bye.